Star Wars. You love most of it, I love most of it, some people take it too seriously, so I'm sure that this video is going to be absolutely fine and not controversial at all. Hey everyone, my name's Kane, and on occasion I play games, and today we're looking at Star Wars Bounty Hunter from the year 2002. Yes, that's right, I'm reviewing an older game again, so allow me to put a small disclaimer in this video before we start. I'm not reviewing this game in 2002, I'm going to critique it for an audience of right now and in the future, so I may say something that could have been fine closer to the game's release, but has aged rather poorly. So please keep in mind that this video is designed for people who haven't played it in a long time and wonders how it plays today, or potentially haven't played it at all before and wants to know whether or not they should buy it. If you're nostalgic about this game, or even enjoy it for that matter, that's perfectly fine, and I'd love to hear your opinions down below in the comments, but nothing I say in this video is a personal attack against your opinion, or an endorsement of your opinion if you happen to agree with me. So with that important disclaimer out of the way, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see today, and let's ask, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, how bad can it be? Taking place 10 years before Attack of the Clones, Bounty Hunter follows the story of Jango Fett on his journey to becoming the template for the Republic's clone army. The not yet Emperor Palpatine tasks his then apprentice, Count Dooku, with the elimination of his former pupil turned leader of the Bando Gora crime syndicate. Dooku contacts Fett after capturing a gangster by the name of Miko Ginty, God, Star Wars names are dumb, to offer the contract on his former student for 5 million Republic credits. To Jango's surprise, however, he wasn't the only one Dooku contacted. Using the contract as a test for the clone template, Dooku also contacted another Mandalorian by the name of Montross, a ruthless bounty hunter and sort of rival to Jango Fett. Bounty Hunter's story falls into the major problem I often find with prequel content when it comes to Star Wars. It tries to explain the starring character too much, tying itself directly into the overarching continuity of the franchise, and answering questions that, quite frankly, never needed answers to. In this game, we find out how Jango became the clone template, how Jango came to possess Slave 1, and how Jango met Zam Wesell. You know Zam Wesell, right? You know, that assassin at the start of Attack of the Clones? No? Exactly. This game's plot falls into the same hole as the Han Solo movie, in that there is absolutely no point in any of it. Is it bad? No. To the game's credit, the story is good enough, carried by Tamora Morrison's reprisal of Jango Fett, and it's a nice insight into the character before their movie introduction, but let's be honest here. Did this need to exist? Did we need to learn about Slave 1 or fan-favorite character Zam Wesell, who solely exists to be killed off and start Obi-Wan Kenobi's subplot of finding the clone army? No, we didn't. Is it nice knowing how Jango became the clone template? Sure, I guess that's fine, but did we really need an entire plot dedicated to that one point? No. It could have been solved with a single line of dialogue. The game is no longer official Star Wars canon, so none of it really matters, I guess, but it's a perfectly serviceable story that carries the game along, but let's be honest, you really weren't missing anything then, and you're missing out on even less now, and I'm saying that as a kid who grew up with Jango Fett as my favourite Star Wars character. Not even I cared about the Mandalorian side man's backstory. Gameplay-wise though, Star Wars Bounty Hunter is actually a lot of fun. Until it asks you to move more than 5 feet anyway, but still. The gameplay is split into two major components, movement and shooting. A simple formula and one that works most of the time and has been a proven success time and time again. The only problem is, only half of it works in Bounty Hunter. Well, there is a third element to the gameplay in the form of bounty hunting, but honestly it's so poorly executed that it's not really worth a mention in this video whatsoever, because most of the people playing the game won't bother doing it at all, though for those curious I will explain it for you now. Bounty Hunter, as the name suggests, has a bounty system where in each level there are a variety of NPCs that have a price on their head, either dead or alive. To do this, you must equip the scanner, go into first-person mode, meaning you can't shoot, find the NPC out of everyone in the level, mark them by pressing square, then come out of the scanner, equip your rope, aim at the target, tie them up, then either approach them and press triangle if wanted alive, or if wanted dead, shoot them. And what do you get for all this? Credits, and what the credits get you? Absolutely nothing. They are completely inconsequential. So why are they here? Going back to the two major gameplay components that you'll actually end up doing in Star Wars Bounty Hunter, we're gonna start with the shooting, as it honestly might be the most fun I've had in a video game in 2021. It's wild, I know, but there is just something so satisfying about being a badass, decked out in clean Mandalorian armor, double-fisting pistols and just bipping boys left and right. It taps into the same euphoria that the Mandalorian Disney Plus show gives me with Din Djarin. It honestly might be on par with The Mandalorian, as while that show obviously dominates this game with how it looks, Star Wars Bounty Hunter lets me be the one doing the shooting, and I get 2 pistols. I get more guns on top of that, sure, but they're all just inventory filler for me. Unless you're telling me I have to use them, I'm double-fisting the pistols and tapping square so fast that I ruin my controller by the time I'm done. The geniuses behind Star Wars Bounty Hunter even made it so the game automatically does split targeting, meaning you get to feel even more badass as you take out 2 enemies at once. It's repetitive for sure, it's the same gameplay loop over and over again, but it's honestly an absolute blast. It's so much fun. This sense of fun was ruined by the second half of Bounty Hunter's gameplay, however, jumping puzzles and movement puzzles. The controls in Star Wars Bounty Hunter may actually be the worst I've ever come across on this channel. The movement is all over the place, overly sensitive turning and the camera somehow both being tied to the left and right sticks mean that it's surprisingly difficult to move in a straight line. Combine this with a ridiculous amount of jumping puzzles, many of which have moving parts, enemies firing upon you, and edges that don't have proper collision, so you need to be perfect, and voila, you have one of the worst gameplay experiences you will ever come across. It's incredible how clean of a divide there is between the two major gameplay elements of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and that made for an experience that took me a while to think about. I'd go from loving this game 1 second to hating it and everything about it the very next, and it would flip-flop back and forth until around chapter 4, that is, where it completely changed for me. That's when the difficulty curve of the game became a difficulty wall. Chapter 4, The Death Stick Factory, marked a major shift in my opinion on this game. Gone was the weird seesaw of frustration and fun, and in its place was just pure frustration, as the balance of gameplay was thrown out the window. More and more movement puzzles were thrown at me, causing me to die over and over again, most of which weren't even fully my fault. This one level took 2 days and more resets than the entire prior game combined, and it honestly just got worse from there, as instead of increasing the difficulty slider, the people at Lucasfilm kept cranking up the BS dial. So overall, I can't really recommend Star Wars Bounty Hunter, as unless you really want to play the shooting parts of the game, which are admittedly very fun, the game has nothing going for it. One thing I couldn't help but think during my playthrough is, this game needs some kind of remake or spiritual successor. The DNA of Star Wars Bounty Hunter feels like a perfect fit for popular AAA titles of the modern era, and I think current technology could do this concept absolute wonders. It really does need to happen. In a post-Mandalorian world, a Star Wars game where you play as a bounty hunter, potentially even a Mandalorian one like this game, seems like money on the table that isn't being taken right now, and it should be greenlit. Imagine an open-world game set in the Star Wars universe where you play as a bounty hunter traveling between planets. Each of these planets have their own smaller open-world map with various side quests, stories, collectibles, and bounties on top of a modern AAA video game narrative. It just sounds like something that needs to happen, and I feel like now is the perfect time for that. So come on, Lucasfilm. Greenlight some kind of bounty hunter remake / spiritual successor already, and take my money. Thanks for watching this video. Yes, this review was only made because the Book of Boba Fett is coming out and I wanted some of that sweet SEO rub potentially, but let's be honest here, when else was I gonna get an excuse to play a Jango Fett Star Wars game over any of the other Star Wars games I haven't played already? It was now or never. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button to keep up to date with future uploads. Leave your comments on this game down below, and why not tell me your favorite Zam Wessel moment? I'm sure there are so many you can think of. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Kane, and I'll see you all soon.